All right, the Panthers did it. They finally did it. And I'm going to tell you what that is. But first, if you have not yet, please subscribe to this channel. As you know, if you've watched any videos of us, you know we're Lions fans. We have another channel, Sports Talk Detroit. But we love teams that the national media ignores, the Panthers being one of those teams. And so if you want some stuff on teams like that, including your Carolina Panthers, please subscribe, comment, and like this video. But anyways, here's the move they made, and many of you know this already, but Frank Reich has finally, it seems like finally, right? And it's only been 6 weeks. But after a bland offense for multiple weeks, Frank Reich has decided to hand over play calling duties to offensive coordinator Thomas Brown. In other words, saying, Thomas Brown, do your job. You are the official offensive coordinator. This is according to Tom Pelissero. It says right here, his Frank Reich informed players today he has decided to hand over play calling duties to Thomas Brown. Brown is only 37 years old. He's highly regarded, and Carolina's 0-6. So why not? So here's what I want to do in this video. I want to talk about why this is a good move. I want to talk about why it's the right time to do this move. And I want to go into a little deeper dive on who Thomas Brown is, because here's the thing. When you get a new offensive coordinator, when you get a new coach, if they are ever in a position where you haven't seen them before, there's always a little bit of an unknown, but we can also look back at the career of that coach and say, yep, they're going to do a good job, or nope, they're not. And I think it's kind of exciting because his career path kind of follows something that should get you excited. Now, from this interview earlier in the season, this is interesting to me. It sounds like there was always a plan for Brown to take over play calling duties at some point. All right. So here's what we knew. This was in the plan. I think 0-6 may have elevated that plan. As you know, as I said before, we're Lions fans. Ben Johnson may be the best OC in the game and the best offensive coordinator in the game. That's the Lions offensive coordinator. It took Dan Campbell a long time to hand it over. In fact, Anthony Lynn was our play caller 3 years ago. He was for the first half of the year. And then Dan Campbell himself, for the second half of his first year coaching, took over play calling duties. He was getting suggestions from both Ben Johnson and Anthony Lynn as passing and running game coordinator. So then by the next year, Johnson was going to maybe be the offensive coordinator. He ended up getting the play calling duties and never looked back. And it might be something where you're getting that with Thomas Brown. So let's look at who he is and kind of what his career was. So he was a running back at Georgia. At the University of Georgia, he was drafted in the 6th rounds by the Atlanta Falcons. By the way, when he was at Georgia, he had to split time with a talented freshman by the name of Noshan Moreno. This is kind of crazy. So he played a little bit of time for the Falcons, but he landed on IR. He played for the Browns, but not for long, just a couple of weeks. The year later, or 2 years later, I should say, and that was it for his playing career. But the coaching career is what's important here. This is what we need to know. He started with the Chattanooga Mocs. Isn't that great as running back coach? And then he went to the Marshall. And then in 2014, he went to the land of good running backs and good offensive linemen. And that was the Wisconsin Badgers. So he was at Wisconsin for a year. And then he returned in 2015 to be the running backs coach at Georgia. All right. So in February, he went to be the running backs coach at Georgia under Mark Richt. But later in December, he went to Miami, where he was both the running backs coach and offensive coordinator at the U under Mark Richt. So up until this point, the first 7 years of his coaching career were in run heavy and very successful run offenses. So he has the run side down. Then he becomes the running backs coach at South Carolina for a little bit. And then this is the interesting move. In February of 2020, he joined the LA Rams coaching staff as running backs coach. How about that? All right. He won the Super Bowl when the Rams defeated the Bengals, and he transitioned from running backs coach to the team's tight ends coach while retaining as an assistant head coach title. And then in February of 2023, as you know, he was hired as the offensive coordinator by the Panthers. So when we look at his resume, two things really, really stand out to me. I've told you already the run game. He understands the run game. He understands run concepts at the University of Wisconsin, at the University of Georgia, in Miami under Rick. Like, these are very good running schools. Then he goes to the Rams. This is very, very interesting to me because now he's at the school of Sean McVay. And this is where a lot of really good offensive minds come out of. And so here he is coming out of that. He had 3 years in that system after basically focusing on the running game for a long time. So I think what you're going to see, and this is interesting, you're like, oh, this is a former guy with the Rams, and this is good. This actually looks kind of like one of those perfect scenarios. Kind of one of those perfect scenarios for a rookie quarterback because he's a guy who knows how to open it up. He knows how to open the offense up, but he's going to be a run first guy too. So I would look for Chuba Hubbard to keep rolling. He had a good week last week. I would look for Chuba Hubbard to keep rolling. I would look for this offense to be gaining steam. I would look for it to be gaining momentum, play action pass. I would think there's also going to be a little more creativity that's going to start to happen as well. I understand not wanting to mix a rookie play caller, at least at the professional level, with a rookie quarterback. So I understand Frank Reich's hesitation to do this. But at this stage of his coaching career, it might be best for Frank to hand over the keys to a young, up and coming coach that can, you know what, let's open this offense up a little bit. And Frank Reich will be right there. Make no mistake about it. This is still going to be Frank Reich's offense. But when you have this guy come in here, he's going to gain a little trust. He's going to be putting in different wrinkles that Frank Reich may not have been. Frank will allow him to do 1 or 2 a game. If he's successful, he'll get some more, and then he'll get some more, and then he'll get some more. And by the end of the year, you're going to see a little bit more of a resemblance of what this offense is going to look like. I think it could be really good. So I think this is a good move. I think this is the right move. We all know and talk about what former players as coaches do. It's extremely helpful. We all say that a rookie quarterback's best friend is a good running game. And when you have a former running back as your offensive coordinator, you can imagine that this running game is going to get kickstarted, and he will do everything he can to help that quarterback be nice and comfy. So hope you like the video. It's a sneaky good move. It's sneaky because he is sitting there with a lot of running background and now the throwing side of it with the Rams under McVay. It's a good coaching tree that he's coming out of. All right. Hope you like the video. Like, subscribe, comment. See ya.